All right. Mark and I came to VES the same year, 2020, his sophomore year. And we figured out a lot of things about this boarding school thing together. First of all, being away from your family. For me, just missing evenings at home with my family because of away games or duty. For Mark, being nearly halfway around the world from his. In both cases, we figured out how to cope, though. Finding great relationships and purpose in what we do while we're away, and making the moments when we are together, even if just on the phone, as meaningful as possible and not to take them for granted. Secondly, boarders are given an opportunity to fast forward a little bit when it comes to maturity and responsibility. That can certainly come with its drawbacks, but for Mark, I believe it's given him the opportunity to show his family and more importantly himself that he can strike his own path, pursue, and be successful in things that he has passion for. And finally, we've learned that family comes in many forms. For Mark, his Randy boys, Lore, and many other friend groups. For both of us, our soccer team and our advisory, Jackson, Ethan, Case, Lucio, Wayne, Rohan, and of course, Roderick. We've all grown and learned a lot together over the last 3 years that I hold as some of my very best. And lastly, from my family to yours, Mark, I'm going to share a couple of comments that I get about you, when you leave from having dinner at our place or just stopping and chatting when we're on campus. From my wife, I love that guy. From Amelia, he's so nice. And I haven't told you or the advisor yet, but with luck turning 9 in a couple weeks, can Mark come to my birthday party? So Mark, I'm proud of how you stayed your genuine, true, kind-hearted self, but matured and grown over the last 3 years. I'm proud you have the courage to volunteer this speech, and I can't wait to hear it.
Coach. Thank you, Coach Stroud, for those really kind words. On behalf of the advisory, I kind of want to thank you and your family for taking us in. You've always treated us like family, and we couldn't have asked for a better advisor for the past 3 years, so I just want to say thank you. And, well, hey, everyone. If you didn't know me, my name's Mark, and I'm kind of basing my senior talk off the idea of struggle, kind of how it affects you. And I know a lot of us go through our own fights sometimes, and I don't really have an advice for each specific scenario, but what I know for sure is that you can't really grind through it. It really helps to just talk to someone about it. And something that I've gone through, especially like the beginning of my VES career, was losing my grandfather like a month before I came to campus. He was kind of the reason I came to VES, and he was the reason why I had the courage to do it. Before I came, I was a really sensitive kid. I didn't talk to anyone. I was really needy. I was a mama's boy. No one expected me to leave my house, just leave the country. And my grandfather was the only one that kind of believed in me, even in my own family, except for my parents, obviously. And he kind of just sat me down, and he just told me that I have the potential to achieve whatever I think I can achieve, and to not limit myself based on what others tell me I can or can't do. And so basically, when we lost him, it was during the COVID outbreak, and he was in Lebanon and I was in Saudi Arabia. And as I was packing to leave, we got a call from my grandfather saying that he fought off the disease and that he was going back home. And he was telling me how proud he was and everything. And the last words he told me that when you go back to the US, just have fun and just don't do drugs. That's literally the only thing he told me. And I thought I was going to say good morning to him the next day, but those were the last words he told me. But those hilarious words were my grandfather's last words to me, but I'm so glad that they were. It's just something that he would say, and it fits him better than any cliche for last words. And so after I lost my grandfather, it was a major struggle, and I just felt unmotivated. I didn't have the drive to come here. I didn't have the drive to do anything. But I don't know if a lot of the new students here met Mrs. Grattan, but or some of you may not have been here, but I talked to Mrs. Grattan a lot, and she helped me work through my feelings. She helped me mourn, and without her, I wouldn't have been the person I am today, because I was very secluded, and yeah, she just helped me get my sophomore year back on track. And that's what I'm, like, when you talk to someone, it really helps you. And I thought no one felt the way I was feeling, and she kind of helped me realize that. And so, but I still couldn't shake the feeling of being alone. And it's when I realized that, you know, I'm the only Arab person here. And I was never really proud of where I was from because of the history of my country and everything. But then I have like all my friends asking me like, oh yeah, do you guys have this in Saudi? And this, and by the way, I never realized how much I said back in Saudi. I'm so sorry. I really am so sorry. I'm sorry for annoying you all. But honestly, this kind of made me feel more proud of where I'm from and who I am. And yeah, that's basically all I'm saying, is that thank you for everyone. And I have a list of thank yous actually. Obviously, first to my family. My dad, you work so hard and you do it with no complaints. And I hope to be as hardworking as you are. To my mom, I know I was a hassle when I was young, and you always dealt with me and my brother with so much love and a smile on your face when you really shouldn't have. And then I want to thank the soccer team. You guys are like brothers to me. Honestly, it's been an honor for me to play alongside you guys these past couple of years. To Coach Urick, it took me 3 years, but I realized that the fitness tests weren't really just for fitness. I guess how hardworking you want to be and how passionate you are towards the sport. And so I thank you for making me a better person on and off the pitch. To Sam Alfin, you kind of, before I came here, you dealt with me texting you at 3 a.m. about the school because there was like a 7-hour difference, so I'm sorry about that. But you're one of the first guys I met. You honestly made me feel like part of the community when I had a rough time doing that. To Bryce, Will, Sims, Tucker, and Brennan, and Arthur, I never really talked to you guys sophomore year because of COVID, but I'm so glad that we got in touch junior year. You guys are like the best dudes I've ever met. I always go to you guys if I need something. You all are really like family to me, and I hope we stay in touch after I leave. To the Randolph guys, from this year and the past 3 years that I was there, thank you for being the best people to live with. I'm glad that I was part of that dorm for all 3 of my years, and I'm never going to forget you guys. To the Johnsons, thank you for settling me in. I remember my first year, I was always homesick, so you brought out Reese to kind of get my mind off of that. Whenever I forget to text my mom, and it's been like a couple days, and she gets really worried, you guys would always check on me to text her. And yeah, you guys have been a great help and big part of my life here at VES, and I'm appreciative of that. And then to Coach Porter, thank you for always being there for me. And the other Randolph guys, you've had a big impact in all of our lives on campus. Thank you for teaching and helping us, guide us through our mistakes or just whatever throws at us. And no matter what, you always put us first, and I'm so grateful for that. And then to Lore, thank you for being there for me 24/7, celebrating my wins and being there for me when I lose. You've done so much for me in the past 6 months, and I can't thank you enough. To the dining hall staff, thank you for preparing our meals, cleaning up the messes we leave. And to the faculty and students that I couldn't name because of time, thank you for making my time at VES the best. And to the seniors, we have 43 days left for graduation.